Week 4 is officially in the books. I hope you're killing it in your leagues, but regardless, even if you're struggling, it's a long season. Let's give you some waiver wire pickups going into week 5. Here's our top 10 that we're looking to pick up this week. At number 10, we have Samajeeeee, who is currently rostered in just 5% of leagues. Look, if Joe Mixon misses time, it's quite clear that Samajeeeee is going to be the fill-in guy. Do we like Samajeee's talent? Do we think he's this crazy, uber talented guy? No, definitely not. However, we are in love with the upcoming schedule. Versus the Packers and then at Detroit, two teams who give up a lot of points at the running back position. Stash him on your bench. Mixon could play, but if he doesn't, this is a good pickup. At number 9, we have Rashod Batman. Hopefully he's already on your IR spot, but if he's not, he's still available in 41% of leagues. Very, very talented guy. One of our favorite players out of this 2021 NFL draft class. Landed with the Ravens, had that injury, but now he's back. It looks like he's going to play in week 5. And to be fair, Lamar Jackson has looked actually very good as a passer. I know the team doesn't pass as much, but Lamar's looked very efficient. Hollywood Brown Mark Andrews is going to alleviate any pressure that the defense puts on him. This is a low risk, high reward scenario. You're not going to start him yet, but stash him and let's just see what he's going to look like in this offense. At number 8, we have Jamison Crowder, who is only rostered in 27% of leagues. Who would have thought? Jamison Crowder is getting a lot of targets in his first game back. Already 9 targets. The offense looked much better. I know they played the Titans. Bad defense, but the offense looked better. Zach Wilson looked better. And even though Elijah Moore plays a slot as well, if Crowder is going to help Zach Wilson's development, they're going to put him on the field. So I would actually flex Crowder this week if you need a desperation flex. They're at Atlanta and then they're on a bye. At number 7, we have Trey Lance, who is rostered in 49% of leagues. Jimmy G looks like he's going to miss some time, and this is pretty simple. 3 reasons you should pick him up. Number 1, Kyle Shanahan. Number 2, the rushing upside. And number 3, in only one half of football last week, he scored over 20 fantasy points. The upside is there. At number 6, we have Darnell Mooney, who was rostered in 55% of leagues. Had a breakout game last week with 135 total yards. I know it was against the Lions, but he looked good. And more importantly, Justin Fields was looking for him early and often. If Fields continues to be the starter, we could see a great year ahead for Darnell Mooney. I'm not necessarily throwing him into my lineup just yet, but I'm definitely stashing him and seeing what the quarterback situation looks like and what his role will be. The next 2 games for the Bears feel like games they're going to need to score a lot of points in, at Las Vegas and versus the Packers. At number 5, we have Josh Gordon. He's back, rostered in 37% of leagues. The Chiefs need a third option on this team. McCole Hardman, they're just not giving him the opportunities. Byron Pringle not getting the opportunities. And teams are focusing on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. They are eliminating one of these guys every week. They need a guy like Josh Gordon to step in and to be a third option for Patrick Mahomes. This is probably the most risky waiver wire pickup this week because it could easily be a bust. He could be completely worthless, but in this offense, it's definitely worth a stash to wait and see what he could look like. At number 4, we have the new Kenneth Gainwell, rostered in 44% of leagues. We keep putting this guy on a waiver wire list because he keeps being available for some reason. He's looked so good. He's the ideal pass catching back for this Eagles offense, currently getting 4.5 targets per game. In PPR leagues, this is someone that you should definitely be targeting. Last week against the Chiefs, he got 8 targets. Have to keep in mind, this Eagles defense is bad, specifically their secondary. Teams are going to be able to score on these Eagles, which means they're going to be behind enter Kenneth Gainwell for all the targets. So definitely pick him up if you're looking for a flex option. He's closing in on starting material, but not quite yet. The next game's at Carolina and versus the Bucs. At number 3, we have Damien Williams, who helped the Chiefs win a Super Bowl a couple years ago, only rostered in 14% of leagues. David Montgomery looks like he's going to miss some time. Who knows how long it's going to be? We haven't heard any solid information yet. It could be a couple weeks, could be 8 weeks. But regardless, he's in an offense that runs the ball a lot, and Damien Williams can fill in for the David Montgomery role. We expect him to get a lot of touches in this offense, and it doesn't look like the injury that he sustained last week is going to be a problem going forward. His next 2 games are pretty good for the running back position at Las Vegas. Look at what Eckler just did to them, and versus the Packers. So if you need a running back, I'd probably be picking up Damien Williams this week. At number 2, we have Dawesome Knox, who is rostered in 50% of leagues. I think this is his 3rd week in a row on this list. He has low-key been such a good asset from week 1 onwards. He's currently averaging over 13 PPR points per game from the tight end position. That puts him as tight end 5 on the year. He's been very good, a very startable asset considering how scarce tight ends are in fantasy. In fact, he scored more points so far than Darren Waller, George Kittle, Noah Fant, Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, and Mark Andrews. This offense is pass happy, and when they're in the red zone, it's quite obvious that Josh Allen is looking for Knox. So if you need a tight end, he should be picked up already. Next 2 games, they're going to need to score points at Kansas City and at Tennessee. And number 1 this week is Curtis Samuel, rostered in 60% of leagues. Let me explain, because this is probably confusing. Why do you have him number 1? Well, I watched this game in full last week, being a Washington fan. I know he only got 4 receptions, but that's a pretty big deal. He got 4 receptions while only playing 37% of snaps. This is a guy who, when fully healthy, probably next week, will be a 90% plus snap guy. He's not going to be limited to that work. So with the little amount of work that he got, he was very involved. And I like the way that they were utilizing him within this offense. This defense is giving up the 3rd most points in the NFL, which means this offense is being forced to score. They are top 10 right now. So don't forget that they paid him handsomely. They want to see what they have with their investment. I expect him to be heavily involved in this offense. Maybe not this upcoming week. I would potentially start him if you need a flex, but the next week onwards, that injury is going to feel better, and he's going to be a 90% snap guy. He's a flex that you could start every week going forward. Bad defense, need to score points. Good, competent quarterback in Taylor Heineke. Logan Thomas is out. He's a guy I'm looking to pick up, maybe even trade for if he's not available on your waiver wire. So those are our pickups of the week. Let us know. Do you feel like we missed on one of these? Do you feel like we hit on them? Either way, let us know down in the comments below. Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.